In 2018, I graduated from college. I had moved back from Huntsville. I was here for an internship, and I wanted to find a new church. I went to Yelp and looked up churches with good reviews, and Mountaintop was #1. And when I walked in the door, there was bubbles. There were bubbles everywhere. There was like pop music playing. There were children running all over the place. I was getting ready to leave, and somebody in the congregation walked up to me and said, like, "Hey, is this your first Sunday here?" She was like, "Oh my gosh, this is like the VBS kickoff Sunday, and please like stay. It's not always like this." She introduced me to some other people that were around my age that were leaders of the Young Professionals group, and so we exchanged numbers, and I didn't really get plugged in with them until a little bit later. That same semester, I started struggling with some panic attacks, but at the time, I didn't really have the language for that. I didn't know what was going on. I just knew that I wasn't okay and that I couldn't really go through that myself. I knew that I needed to be surrounded by other people who could kind of help me walk through that. So I reached out to one of those phone numbers that I got that day. The small group came together, and they were sharing like hard things that they were going through right now. And that meant a lot to me. I shared with them what I was going through, and it was awesome, you know, in a group of 8 or 10 or however many people were there that night, you know, for them to say like, "Hey, me too, I know what you're going through." And they stopped and they prayed for me, and they don't even know me at this point. And so to have that, you know, group of strangers just come, you know, circle around me and literally pray for me that night was one of the best and most poignant experiences I've had in my faith. I loved that group. I stayed with them. I felt like people just poured into me there. It was a very, very special experience. And then I got a job in Huntsville, and so I had to move away, and I was devastated. I almost thought about not doing it because this felt like home, this felt right. I knew I wanted to be here in the long term, but I couldn't pass up the job. When I came back to Mountaintop, I actually got the opportunity to serve for VBS, which was just kind of wild since that's like how I first met Mountaintop, it was VBS week. Months later, Linda approached me and asked me to help start this Young Professionals group again. And I was like, heck yes, because you know I had served before with Mountaintop. I knew I loved it. I felt like I had a place here. So I'm really excited to get that opportunity again and kind of see where it goes. Christianity to me is, you know, different from other religions in that everybody has a place, and I feel like that's how Mountaintop is. It's good to have a group where you know that they're rooting for you and they're praying for you and they care about you. Our big thing is for you, for Birmingham, and so I believe wholeheartedly that everybody here kind of lives that out, and so no matter what group you join, you're gonna find a home here.